Hey everyone, this is Aegis, and this is another game of the King of the Hill. Vin Diesel, the orange Zerg player, is currently the king of this hill, and Ner'zhul is his challenger. We're going to be on MLG Shattered Temple once again. We'll see if Ner'zhul is able to take down Vin Diesel and crown himself the king. This is the Riot. Everyone that wants to take down the king for themselves. Ner'zhul is the blue Terran player, and Vin Diesel is from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Ner'zhul from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. A lot of the players playing in this King of the Hill we've met in the CSL 1 week or another. Can't exactly remember exactly what was up with some of these players, but again, always fun to be able to incorporate everyone into King of the Hills. We'll see if Ner'zhul is able to take down Vin Diesel. Looks like he's going to be scouting over here. Well, he's going to see the command center. Should be moving that back. Will be able to hide his position from Ner'zhul at least for a little while. Granted that Ner'zhul doesn't scout in this direction and see the Overlord. Ner'zhul is going to be walling in the front with his supply depot. Looks like he doesn't want to die to any early Zergling pressure. So he's going to be walling that in, as soon as he possibly can. We're going to go and take a look at the production tab. I want to see Vin Diesel actually throw down his hatch earlier than he did last game. It'll help him to be able to get those queens out, maybe macro a little bit better. He has reached 14 food. This drone is moving out, headed towards the natural, and we're going to see a fast expansion. There it goes down, the 14 hatch. Very standard build. The Overlord is going to scoot over here. Ner'zhul is going to eventually see that Overlord and will know exactly what position. Yeah, he sees the Overlord now. Will know exactly what position that his Zerg opponent is in and be able to plan accordingly. We'll see if he decides to do a fast. Nope, he's got the gas, so the expand will not be as fast as he possibly can make it, but we can still possibly see a fast expand out of our Terran player. This Overlord is trying to scoot out of here. A Marine is trying to spawn. The Overlord looks like it probably will be able to get out of the way. A spawning pool is coming up for Vin Diesel. Again, in Shattered Temple, you can't spawn in close positions, so Ner'zhul is going to go ahead and scout over here. Looks like he didn't quite notice that Overlord. He's going to scout back down here now that he's definitely seen that Overlord flying over his gas, throwing down the mule. Those Imba mules. Here comes the SCV, going to be advancing forward. We'll see what it decides to take a look at, and if it decides to throw down a bunker, looks like it sees the hatchery, and we'll be taking a look inside the main. The spawning pool is just about finished. 2 Marines are out for Ner'zhul. No add-ons on this barracks just yet because he is getting a factory. We'll see if this factory is to get a starport out for drops, or if this factory is for Hellions, or if it's for tanks. We'll see what's up soon. And if Ner'zhul is deciding to expand sometime soon, he is starting to rack up those minerals, approaching 400. It might look like an expansion. There it goes down. A command center coming up for Ner'zhul. It looks like Vin Diesel over here is spawning out his queens. He's throwing down 2 preemptive spine crawlers. I'm not too sure what he's expecting here, but I feel like he could get away with just 1, or maybe not make these at all unless he scouts something different. Ner'zhul is going to let his SCV back into his base. A Hellion is being spawned here right now. The supply depot being lifted and lowered. Looks like it's lowered right now. Going to be able to let the Hellion in and going to lift it right back up again. These 2 spine crawlers will be in position for, lifting that spine crawler. Will it get burrowed in time? It takes forever for a spine crawler to burrow. Looks like it's going to finish up. The Hellion did not just run in there. Looks like it could have actually scooted along the side because that one was unburrowed. Looks like Ner'zhul is going to pull that Hellion back to the watchtower. No, just going to pause over here. The Hellion driver does not want to go that far. Gas is too expensive. He's just going to park near it. Now finally making his way over there. Somebody subsidized his gas on that one. We've got 2 additional factories coming up for Ner'zhul, and the orbital command is going to be on the way. We'll see if he decides to float that out immediately, or if he decides to use that to throw down a bunch of mules and then just push out on one base and do some one base big ass timing attack. Vin Diesel over here continuing to get those upgrades. So we've got the lair coming up, as well as the metabolic boost for his speedlings, or for his Zerglings to become speedlings. A bunker is going down in the front. Ner'zhul is going to be securing his natural expansion very soon. He did, I believe, make 1 SCV out of that before floating it out. There's the bunker gonna be halfway complete. No more Marines being spawned right now. There looks like a ton of Hellions being produced. He's gonna try to do some damage with the Hellions. We'll see if it is successful, if he can swing by over here and just ignore the spine crawlers and do a ton of drone damage. There comes the expansion. Nerzel is going to start mining from that immediately. Take a look at the income tab. It looks like Vin Diesel has had all the time in the world to drone up as hard as he possibly can. 40 harvesters to Nerzel's 28. However, those mules do provide pretty even income in this case. Looks like the Hellions are advancing forward, going to be roasting these creep tumors and maybe doing some damage to that queen. Not going to be able to take that out. She's going to get pulled back right away. This creep tumor, I guess it did get canceled so that you will be able to spread additional creep later on. The reactor is coming up on the barracks over here. The factory is now grabbing tech labs. All of them actually, and armory coming up. Is he gonna make a bunch of Thors, or is he gonna start making a ton of tanks? I feel like it's just gonna be a mix of the two. We'll see what he decides to throw down right now. The Hellions are continuing to park by the Xel'Naga Watchtower, gonna make sure that nothing comes out of here and does a lot of damage. There's a creep tumor spreading in this direction. The Hellions are now advancing forward. Gonna see if they can pick anything else off. The queen over here is going to be, I guess, continuing to lay those creep tumors. Vin Diesel needs to get a couple more units out in the field because a scary timing push could be coming. We're approaching the time when these siege tanks and this one Thor will be spawning. There's a couple more Marines out in the bunker right now. The second gas coming up for Nerzel. We'll see if he decides to take a third base pretty quickly, or if he decides to just push out. There's an Overseer coming over here. Gonna see everything that's going on. Not able to get taken out because there's not much of anything that shoots up. There's that one Thor spawning over here. That Overseer is going to try to get out of there. The Thor ignoring it for a little bit, having a little bit of compassion, but it looks like the Overseer is going to... Oh, the Overseer doesn't like the Thor, so it will move back, do a little vomiting on the tech lab. Going to delay the siege tech by 30 seconds. What a huge delay. The Hellions moving up away from the watchtower for a little bit. The Overlord's now taking a dump all over this edge over here. If anyone is standing there, it's not a good position to be in. A queen coming over here and laying a couple of creep tumors will be able to continue to spread the creep. We'll see when Nerzel decides to push. Looks like he's trying to take a third base right now. We'll open production for you, and there are Mutalisks on the way. The Spire is complete, and it looks like Vin Diesel is taking his third base over here as well. Nerzel looks like he's taking a pretty fast third, so he will be even on bases with his Zerg opponent, and that is not a position Zerg would like to be in. Zerg is also not spending his money very well. He's got 1,600 in the bank, and those are the Mutalisks spawning right now. It'd do him well to make a couple more Zerglings and do a little bit more poking, aside from the Overseer that did see everything that was going on. There is the Thor out now on the field. Nerzel also prepared with a turret over here and a turret over here, and the Thors will be able to defend quite well against those Mutalisks, especially in these small numbers. Vin Diesel is going to move over here, going to fly over that Thor, going to lose one Mutalisk. Oh, big blunder by Vin Diesel. Going to be moving out of there. One Mutalisk getting almost taken out over there with 26 HP. Going to be running away. The creep spread is quite good actually on Vin Diesel's part, but he just needs to work on spending his money a little bit more. Maybe just take 2 expansions at the same time to help him spend his money. If he can just even keep 1 expansion, he'd be very fine in this game. Nerzel is balling up here. He's got his Marines out of the bunker. Looks like he might be going for some sort of push right now. We'll see if he's able to do a lot of damage, or if he's going to be forced back by our Zerg player. There's only Zerglings out on the field right now. The Mutalisks are advancing forward, gonna see the Hellions. He's gonna pull back right now. A Roach Warren is on its way. We'll be able to produce some Roaches to hold off this attack. But the Roach Warren has just completed, and there are no Roaches on the way. Vin Diesel needs to throw down those Roaches right away. He's only got Zerglings, and it's Hellions and Marines and Siege Tanks. Oh, this could be really bad for Vin Diesel. His Mutalisks are nowhere to be seen over here right now. The Zerglings now flooding forward, see if they can do a surround over here. Not quite able to do that. The Mutalist numbers are not very good, and even not magic boxing. The Thors are going to be able to smash those Mutalisks, bringing the hammer down. Nerzel defends. his position outside of Vin Diesel's base very well, losing a lot of Hellions and Marines, but it does not even matter. The Sea Shanks are still alive. Zerglings trying to spawn here, going to be advancing forward. Sea Shanks are getting surrounded, not sieged, but the two Sea Shanks in the back going to be able to blast that to pieces. Going to possibly lose this. Nope, not going to lose this floor. 10 kills on this floor, 11 kills over here. Everything over here is so high kill count. 19 kills is a captain. Looks like this hatchery is going to be going down shortly. A roach coming over here, going to get splattered. The Zerglings trying to advance forward against this position, losing that Thor over there. And a Sea Shank, however, this hatchery is still under siege. 117 HP, 64. This hatchery is sure to be dead. Nerzel just needs to get one more shot off. That tank goes down, but Nerzel is just going to pull back with his remaining two tanks and ball up once again. After putting Vin Diesel so far behind, what can he actually do? He needs to spend his money, maybe just swell up with a ton of roaches and do some defending or some counterattacking. We'll see if he decides to take a base. He's got 2,900 minerals in the bank. He needs to be able to spend that as soon as possible, and he would be more even with Nerzel. He's trying to get another expansion over here, maybe get his speedlings to take out this over here safely. He's got the creep spread all the way into the middle of the map right now. Creep is coming over here as well. The Overlord's continuing to take a dump. Man, they ate a lot last night. There's the Hive coming up. We've got it morphing right now. We'll see if he decides to go for Broodlords or if he decides to go for some Ultralisks to help defend against this Terran mech. Broodlords are quite good against Sea Shanks and Thors. The Broodlings do mess with the AI a lot. This expansion does have turrets up here. The turrets do help him to defend this expansion. Because he's so far ahead, it doesn't matter if he throws up a lot of defenses for all of his expansions. There comes in the command center. Looks like Nerzel is almost about ready. His army is starting to swell up. Look at the Sea Shanks just spawning right now. Look at the barracks churning out those Marines. The Marine upgrades going down, the Stim Pack as well as the Combat Shield. His next push is just going to be absurdly powerful. Looks like there are Mutalisks over here, and the Overlord's coming over here to take a dump here as well. Going to be able to prevent a Nerzel from getting his fourth base as quickly as he would like. This one Thor is going to be able to defend against those Mutalisks. We'll see if Vin Diesel decides to try to do damage here, or if he decides to back out. There he is going to be backing out. Thor doing too much splash damage. There the Roach is finally spawning, but 3,000 minerals in the bank. Very bad position to be in. Going to be working on these back rocks. See if he can break that down and get some counter-attacking in with his Zerglings on this expansion. Nerzel has got his tanks unsieging. He might be going for the push right now. He's going to be moving out with 10 siege tanks, 2 Thors, a ton of Marines are also spawning right now. The Tech Labs have almost finished their upgrades. Going to be able to use the Stim Pack. The Neural Parasite upgrade is going down, but there are no Infestors out in the field. What is Vin Diesel doing? He's got the Greater Spire morphing. If he can get out those Broodlords, he will be able to defend against this attack, but Nerzel is now advancing forward. These Overlords getting caught out of position a little bit. Gonna be losing those Overlords shortly. Vin Diesel is gonna be balling us up his army over here, and he needs to get a good spread and try to surround the Terran army as it comes into his natural expansion. Maybe even break down these back rocks and surround from this backside. Try to take out the tanks from the rear. Looks like a couple of Roaches advancing forward, bleeding to death on the ground. Here comes Vin Diesel's defense. Here come all of the Roaches forward. The Sea Shanks in the back are untouched. The Roaches just getting splattered, being killed off very easily over here. The Mutalisks trying to do the harassment against the tanks, losing a couple of tanks over there, but doesn't matter. Nerzel's army is just piling up again. The Viking transition is coming out. He's going to be able to deal with any Broodlords in the case that he sees any out on the field. Does he know about the Greater Spire? No, he does not, but he can probably guess it. There, the Unsieged Shank's going to be dealing with a couple of drones. Vin Diesel is going to lose his natural expansion for the second time in this game. Real soon, he's transferring the drones out of here, but he's losing a lot of drones in the transferring. Not a single drone makes it out alive. All their little carcasses on the ground. A couple of Mutalisks over here trying to deal some damage, but it's just not going to work. That Thor with 69 HP, not going to be able to get taken out. The Mutalisks just kind of flying around like crazy. The Greater Spire is complete. He's making some Corruptors, but it looks like it's just not going to be in time. The Vikings are out on the field, and Nerzel will be able to reinforce real soon with a ton of units. Looks like that The Vikings have come over here, cleaned up that Overlord, and we should be joining this battle shortly. Looks like Nerzel has probably seen the Greater Spire. Yes, he does. So he knows that Broodlords are a possibility. He needs to bring those Vikings out into the battle real soon. He's going to be transferring some SCVs over there to continue mining. And here comes the push. There are 7 Vikings in the air. Those Broodlords are going to be completely negated. 7 Mutalisks trying to spawn here. The tank's positioning going to continue to split these Zerg bases in half. Zerg is going to be unable to get up enough forces to defend against this. So it looks like Nerzel will be our next King of the Hill. His Siege Shanks and his mech play early in the game, securing his game very early on. GG calls Vin Diesel, and Nerzel has been crowned king.